blushing. And if you look at Justin Bieber as a kid and Rain as a kid, they look exactly the same. Because that's supposed to be Scott dissing song. Yeah, Scott's dissing song. But it doesn't look like Scott, and Scott even noticed it.
I just think the best for him is to put it back on him and learn to be accountable.
I get it. Kourtney.
Does Justin Bieber help with the kids at all, or?
No.
That's the rumor. I know y'all are just friends, right? Or
Y'all, just when you think the Kardashians are done shocking us, something wild always crawls out the shadows. And this one? It's on another level. The Kardashian-Jenner crew lives for drama. That's basically their brand. But what's coming up today is different. We're talking about a secret that's been brewing for years, and the pieces are finally coming together. So buckle up, because we're diving into one of the craziest Kardashian theories ever. Kourtney Kardashian, the so-called good sister, the chill one, might have cheated on Scott Disick with Justin Bieber, and maybe even had his baby. Sounds insane, right? But once you see the receipts, you'll be questioning everything. Let's get into it. Now, before we jump into the mess, let's talk about Kourtney's image for a second. Out of all the Kardashian sisters, Kourtney's always been seen as the calm one, right? The one who's not out here causing chaos every other week. She's the health-conscious mama, the one focused on organic living, co-parenting, and now she's all loved up with Travis Barker, living her best punk rock life. But here's the thing, that squeaky clean, unbothered image, it might have been hiding something major this whole time, because what we're about to unpack could flip everything we thought we knew about Kourtney Kardashian. And I mean everything. Alright, so here's the tea that's got the internet in a chokehold. The allegation is this: Kourtney Kardashian cheated on her ex, Scott, with Justin Bieber back in the day. And not only that, some people believe she got pregnant by Justin and passed the baby off as Scott's child. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's wild. That's messy. There's no way. But hold on, because this story has layers. And when you start piecing together the timeline, the photos, the behavior, and all the little details that got swept under the rug, it starts to look a whole lot less like a conspiracy theory and a whole lot more like something that could have actually happened. This rumor has been floating around for years, y'all. It's not new, but it keeps resurfacing because people can't let it go. And honestly, I don't blame them. Let's rewind for a second and talk about how Justin Bieber even got tangled up with this family in the first place. Justin's been connected to the Kardashian-Jenner clan since he was like 14 years old. Yeah, 14. He was a baby when he first started running in their circle. Over the years, people have speculated about which sisters he dated, who he was involved with, all of that. But things really started heating up in 2015 when Kourtney and Justin were spotted together all over LA. And I'm not talking about casual hangouts. I'm talking about late night dinners, them leaving in the same car, showing up at events together, the whole nine. Now at the time, people thought it was just a fling. Maybe Kourtney was having fun, living her life post-Scott. But now looking back, it's way more suspicious than we originally thought. So let's set the scene. Around 2014 and 2015, Kourtney and Scott were going through it. Their relationship was a mess. Scott was out here partying, being seen with models, acting reckless as usual. And Kourtney, she was fed up. She was done. She was tired of being disrespected. And this is where Justin Bieber enters the picture. While Scott was off doing his thing, Kourtney was spending time with Justin. A lot of time. And let me tell you, people had opinions. Some thought she was just having fun. Others thought she was using Justin to make Scott jealous, to get back at him for all the years of drama and cheating. But here's the thing, whether she was using him or not, the timeline of all this is what's got people talking. Because the dates, they line up a little too perfectly. Now listen, this part right here is what made the whole world pay attention. After the dating rumors started flying, Justin posted a photo on Instagram with Kourtney. And in this photo, her legs are literally wrapped around him. It's intimate. It's bold. And the caption? Lord knows, y'all. Lord knows. That's a direct shot at Scott. Justin knew exactly what he was doing with that caption. He was clowning Scott to his face, on the internet for the whole world to see. And the fans? They ate it up. People were in the comments going crazy, making jokes, stirring the pot. It was messy. It was public. And it made it real clear that whatever was going on between Kourtney and Justin, it wasn't just friendly.
Well, this week, the tale is growing in the form of a Bieber baby inside of Kourtney's belly, or so they say. Life and Style magazine is responsible for the rumor, saying Kourtney's already admitted to friends that she and Justin have been intimate and she hasn't been with Scott Disick in a long time. So the math is pretty clear. It would have to be a Bieber baby.
Now this is where things get real heavy. Based on the timeline of Kourtney and Scott's relationship drama and when she was hanging with Justin, some fans started doing the math, and they came to a conclusion that shook the whole fandom. What if Justin Bieber is Rain's biological father? Let me break it down. Rain was born in December 2014. That means Kourtney would have conceived around March 2014. And guess what was happening in March 2014? Kourtney and Scott were at their absolute worst. Scott was barely around. He was out partying, acting a fool, and Kourtney was fed up.
does Justin Bieber help with the kids at all, or?
No. Only
That's the rumor. I know y'all are just friends, right? Or are you really dating him?
we're friends.
You're friends.
Yes.
Why are you smiling that way?
We're friends.
You're smiling as if that maybe it's beyond friends.
I've been smiling this whole time since I've been
No,
sitting
no,
there.
not like that. That was a whole different thing.
And here's the kicker. People started noticing that Rain looks different. He doesn't look like Mason or Penelope, who clearly favor Scott. But Rain, fans started pointing out that he looks strikingly similar to Justin Bieber. Same eyes, same face shape, same vibe. Now, I'm not saying it's definite, but once people started putting those side-by-side photos together, it was hard to unsee. So naturally, Scott wasn't blind to all this. According to reports, Scott was suspicious about Rain's paternity from the jump. He allegedly even asked Kourtney for a DNA test back in 2017. And here's where it gets messy. Kourtney refused. She straight up said no. Now that's interesting because when Mason was born, Kourtney had no problem doing a paternity test to prove Scott was the father. So why the switch up with Rain? Fans found that real suspicious. And according to some sources, Scott brought it up again later on, and once again, Kourtney shut it down. She wasn't doing it. She wasn't entertaining the conversation. And that refusal, it only made people more convinced that something was being hidden. Let's talk about the behavior during Kourtney's pregnancy with Rain, because this part is telling. When Kourtney told Scott she was pregnant, y'all, his reaction was off. If you go back and watch the episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, where she reveals the news, Scott looks distant. He looks unhappy. He doesn't seem excited at all. Now, you could argue that he was just going through a rough time, dealing with his own demons. But knowing what we know now, knowing that he was allegedly suspicious about the paternity, that reaction hits different. And during that time, Scott was partying heavy. He was barely around. He was acting like he didn't care. Meanwhile, Kourtney was doing her thing, living her life, and eventually gave birth to Rain in December 2014. But even after Rain was born, the whispers didn't stop. Tabloids were hinting at it. Fans were speculating. And the rumors just kept growing. Now let me tell you, one of the biggest reasons this theory refuses to die is because of how Rain looks compared to his siblings. Mason and Penelope, they look like Scott, there's no question. You can see Scott all in their faces, but Rain, he looks different. He's got lighter features, a different face shape, and a whole different energy. And fans have been pointing this out for years. According to some reports, Scott himself even confided in people that Rain looks more like Justin than him. That's a wild thing to say about your own kid, but if Scott's been suspicious this whole time, it makes sense why he'd feel that way. And honestly, when you see those comparison photos of Justin and Rain side by side, it's hard not to see the resemblance. I'm just saying. Now, Justin's connection to the Kardashians doesn't stop with Kourtney. This man has been linked to damn near every woman in that family at some point. And I'm not even exaggerating. Kim once joked about setting teenage Justin up with Kendall. Over the years, there have been rumors linking him to Kendall, Kylie, and yes, even Kris Jenner got dragged into the mess. It's like Justin was passed around that family like a plate at Thanksgiving. And the more you dig, the messier it gets. There's a video out there of Justin flirting with a girl, and fans are convinced it was Kendall. Then there were reports back in 2014, yes, the same year Rain was conceived, that Justin was secretly dating Kylie. Now, neither of them confirmed it, but the rumors were loud, real loud. And here's the thing, Justin was young, he was impressionable, and he was surrounded by this powerful, famous family that had their claws in everything. So whether he was actually dating multiple sisters or just caught up in the media storm, the fact remains, Justin was deep in that Kardashian world during a very specific time period. Y'all remember when Justin posted that Father's Day photo with Kris Jenner and captioned it, "Who's your daddy?" Oh, the internet went off. People were making jokes, coming up with theories, and questioning every relationship Justin had with that family. Now, was it just a playful post? Maybe. But knowing everything we know now, knowing the rumors, knowing the timeline, knowing how close Justin was to all of them, it just hits different. It feels like there was more going on behind the scenes than any of them were willing to admit. Let's get back to Kourtney and Justin specifically. Their public relationship started making waves in October 2015 when they were spotted together at the Nice Guy restaurant in LA. They left in the same car, looking real cozy. That was the first major sighting. Then they went to Halloween Horror Nights together, and Justin posted photos of them online. They were seen multiple times after that, always close, always touchy, always giving couple vibes. Whether they called it dating or not, the optics were clear. Something was going on. When Justin finally addressed the rumors in an interview, he said, "I'm being used, man." That's a direct quote. He hinted that Kourtney might have been using him for attention or to get back at Scott. He didn't deny the relationship, but he also didn't confirm it. He just left it vague and moved on. And the public? We took that as confirmation that something DID happened, but maybe it wasn't as serious as we thought. Or maybe it was more serious than Justin wanted to admit. Either way, that statement didn't make things better. If anything, it made people more curious. Here's something that makes this whole thing even more complicated. Justin was seen hanging out with Kourtney's kids, specifically Mason. There are photos of them together, and Justin seemed to really bond with him. And get this, around that same time, Justin was talking in interviews about wanting to be a young dad. He said he wanted to have a family by the time he was 25 or October 26. Fans are now looking back at that and asking, did he already find that family with Kourtney? Because the timing of those comments lines up a little too well with everything else. Now let's talk about Hailey Bieber for a second, because her involvement in this story is key. After Hailey and Justin got engaged in 2018, reports came out that Hailey had set some strict rules for their marriage. And one of those rules? Justin was banned from contacting Kourtney Kardashian. Let me repeat that. Out of all the women in Justin's past, out of all the people he could have been told to cut off, Hailey specifically banned Kourtney, not Kendall, not Kylie, not Selena, who was literally Justin's most famous ex. Just Kourtney. Now why would that be? Why would Hailey feel so threatened by Kourtney specifically? Unless she knew something. Unless she saw something that made her uncomfortable. Unless the rumors about Reign being Justin's child were a little too believable for her comfort. According to insiders, Hailey felt real threatened by Kourtney, especially since Kourtney was single around the time of Justin and Hailey's engagement. One source even claimed that Kourtney would pursue Justin again in a heartbeat if given the chance. And once the rumors resurfaced about Reign possibly being Justin's son, that tension got even worse. Hailey didn't want Justin anywhere near Kourtney, and honestly, I don't blame her. Because if there's even a chance that Justin has a secret child with Kourtney Kardashian, that's a whole mess Hailey didn't sign up for. The internet has been running wild with theories about all of this for years. Some people think Justin was groomed by older women in the Kardashian circle when he was too young to know better. Others think this whole thing is being covered up to protect the Kardashian brand. And then there's the theory that one day, Reign is gonna grow up, start asking questions, and take an ancestry test. And when that happens, all hell is gonna break loose. Kourtney even joked once, saying, "I'll give Reign a DNA test when Kris gives Khloe one." Now, if you know that's a loaded statement. Because there's been rumors about Khloe's paternity for years. So Kourtney throwing that out there, fans took it as her deflecting, avoiding the truth, and basically admitting that she's hiding something. Look, at the end of the day, we don't have concrete proof that Justin Bieber is Reign's father. This could all be a wild conspiracy theory, a bunch of coincidences, and internet speculation gone too far. But here's what we do have: a suspicious timeline, a refused paternity test, physical resemblance, public sightings, cryptic social media posts, and a whole lot of people who can't let this story go. And honestly, when you lay it all out like this, it's hard not to wonder if there's some truth buried in all the mess. So now I'm turning it over to y'all. Does Reign actually look like Justin Bieber? Do you think Kourtney's been hiding a secret this whole time? Could there really be a secret Bieber baby in the Kardashian family? What y'all think? Drop it in the comments below. Let me know if you believe the theory or if you think it's all just gossip. And if you made it this far, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe, because trust me, we got plenty more tea to spill. All right, y'all, I'm out. Stay messy, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Next one.